It was a regular day. I'm sitting in my car. My hands are gripping the steering wheel, just staring out at the road. I'm trying with everything I have to hold it all together, to make sense of the 3 words my doctor just spoke to me. You have cancer. 4 syllables, and just everything, it took everything that I knew about control. And then came the prognosis. You have 6 months to live. Get your affairs in order. Get the power of attorney. I didn't even know what that meant at the time. It felt like I was being handed a timeline with an expiration date, not just of my identity, my life, my plans, and everything I believed that I could control. I pulled the car over, and I just broke down. I cried, I mean the ugly cry, you know, the one, tears and then snot, everything. No, I was not proud. That raw, unfiltered, vulnerable moment that as a leader, you're taught to hide. But I wasn't a problem solver then. I was just human, and I was afraid. I asked for guidance, and that moment opened a part of me that wasn't just seeking healing, but meaning as well. This crisis taught me that even the best systems need an upgrade. Even the best systems can crash. That moment shifted everything. And so, years later, as I stepped into the world of AI, that memory came rushing back. It led me to ask a question: what if the key to truly intelligent AI wasn't just more data, but more humanity? The future of AI depends on the future of us. But even our most intelligent and advanced AI built on pure logic, it can stall because we keep building systems that, even though they're more efficient, they are not able to adapt to change. And so this realization led me to a new framework that I call the 3 C's of artificial intelligence. These aren't technical specifications. They are the key to making AI not just smart, but wise. The first C is curiosity. Curiosity is the engine of human progress. It represents wonder, inquiry, lifelong learning, and the willingness to ask better questions of both humans and machines. In a world filled with so much uncertainty, we get scared. As humans, we get scared, we shut down. But now let's imagine AI that we design to lean into the unknown. AI that it explores. AI that when it hits uncertainty, it doesn't see it as a threat. It sees it as an opportunity to learn. In 2023, a LinkedIn survey said that 73% of employees say they're more likely to stay with a company that fosters curiosity and learning. AI can only be as curious and as courageous as we make it. If we teach it, if we guide it with fear, it's going to learn fear. If we guide it to be curious, then it's going to learn to seek understanding. Now, that's not a technical challenge. That's a human responsibility. 1 in 3 employees feel their workplace doesn't care about their well-being. Well, with over 100 people here, that means that 30 of us feel that way. And that's too large of a number to ignore. So that brings me to the second C. That's connection. And connection means staying human. It combines compassion and relational intelligence into one. We learned in the pandemic that connection isn't a luxury. It's a lifeline. When the world shut down, Zoom calls replaced family dinners because we had no choice. No one wanted to be, to catch COVID at the time. WhatsApp chats became a lifeline as well because people need people. Even the introverts amongst us, we still needed people. So to be absolutely clear, I'm not talking about AI, giving AI feelings, because if we did, my GPS would talk back because I'm always going the wrong way. And it would say, you don't listen to me. But I'm talking about designing it to recognize those signals, right? To connect the dots that reveal how someone is really doing and enhance empathy, not just bypass it and ignore it. So connection means us being able to design AI to see those relationships, not just isolated facts. AI that can detect a patient's lab results that can result in being able to see their family history, building a web of understanding. I have a dear friend going through breast cancer at the moment. Or should I say she's battling and she's winning. And after her biopsy, they were able to use part of the tissue for a test called a mammoprint. And the mammoprint can analyze our genetic makeup. So it analyzed the tumor and was able to see the risk of a recurrence and whether she would need chemotherapy. The results came back, and the chance of recurrence was significantly low. Her doctors then agreed that she doesn't need chemotherapy. That one test spared her weeks, possibly months, of grueling and traumatic treatment. And I know because I've been there, bald head and everything, I did that. But one of the doctors told me something that stuck with me. And I went and I asked ChatGPT, for the numbers as well. And she said, before tests like this, chemo was default for everybody, especially with breast cancer diagnosis. But because of these tests and these knowledge that we get from AI, maybe 50% had to have chemo and didn't need it in spite of that. And now so many people don't have to. But we didn't have the tools. What a difference time and tests can make. AI must see that behind every data point, there is a human being with a story. The future of AI depends on the future of us. Now let me ask you something. By show of hands, have you ever received a check-in text message and you respond, I'm okay, I'm fine, but in reality, life is lifing, right? Without context, the person sending you that text message, they don't really know the tone of the situation. They have no idea whether you're okay or whether you're in deep trouble or even laid up in hospital or have packed up everything and gone to Africa. They don't know that. They won't know if you don't tell them. Well, context is the third C in this framework. Context means staying grounded. It's a blend of situational awareness, historical insight, and the humility to adjust our assumptions in real time to know that we made a mistake. That is the power of context. It turns data into meaning. So a human manager might see an employee is late 3 times in a row and ask if everything is okay. But AI will take it as a performance issue. But when we design AI to understand the story behind the data, like it could be that the person has a sick child at home, or they're simply burned out because life was lifing. Or, it moves from being a tool to being a partner. Medical errors often, due to a lack of context, are the 3rd cause of death in the US. And so we can take that correction also as a part of this. Now, correction isn't a flaw. It's a form of care. Us being able to know that I got it wrong, let me try again. I had a senior leader who shared with me a couple of years ago how she has had many failures. I look up to her, and she's had many failures in her career. Some doozies, too. You know, the embarrassments that everybody knows about. But it wasn't the failure, she said, that mattered. It was what she did next to learn from them. She listened. So this trust isn't built on perfection. It's built on our ability to respond and improve together. The future of AI depends on the future of us. These 3 C's, curiosity, connection, context, are not just for developers, engineers, scientists. They're for all of us, because we are not just building machines, we're shaping intelligence that will move with us, that it'll define our lives. That day in my car, I learned that my greatest strength was in my heart's capacity to be open and be guided on the best decision to make sure that I could be alive to be here today. We stand on the verge of creating the most powerful mind that the world has ever known. And we have to ask the important question, where is the heart? What is the guiding principle? When I say heart, again, I don't mean giving it feelings. I mean giving AI a purpose that is aligned with our own. The goal is not to make AI human. That's not what I'm saying here. The goal is to put humanity into AI. Will we build it to be closed and brittle like I was when I was holding that steering wheel with so much fear? Or will we have the courage to build it on a foundation of our best human values? The AI revolution won't be when a machine finally outthinks us, and when they say machines are going to take over now. But when we finally align its immense power with our deepest values and our greatest hopes for a better world. That is the work. That is the upgrade. That is the only future worth building for our kids. The future won't be led by smarter machines. The future will be led by more conscious humans. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.